Hi, everybody. Welcome to CC Speaks. I am CC Cumberbatch, and I'm back with a topic that I want to talk about today called time management. So, I have quite a bit of notes here that I've taken, so bear with me. I'm going to cover some different topics, and I hope you walk away with some value on how to better manage your time. A lot of us work from home, a lot of us have different things that we're focused on, whether it's family plus job plus working out plus building a business. How do we manage our time? Because time is the one thing that I think we can all agree on we can't get back. It's the one thing that we can't get back. So there's a skill there in learning how to actually manage your time. So I just briefly want to talk about that today. So I'm going to be reading again from some things just so I don't miss anything. So when we're talking about managing your time, there are some questions that you want to ask yourself about time management. Questions like, how can I balance those competing priorities or conflicting priorities? Everything can be important. Everything can't always be a one, right? So, but when you do have those two things that are super important, how do you kind of balance those? What about how can I deal with surprises in time handling or time scheduling? And what level of commitments can I handle? Again, our costliest expenditure is our time. So there's 3 steps to effectively manage your time. Think of it as a triangle. There is effective time scheduling, so maybe that's at the top of the triangle. And then the bottom 2 legs, goal setting and motivation. So that's effective time scheduling, good goal setting, and then motivation to follow through with that scheduling and goal settings. I hope that's kind of making sense so far. Each of these areas in the triangle, guess what? They are interrelated and they're fundamentally important to individuals' ability to manage their time effectively. So I'll let that sink in just for a minute. Got it? So effective time scheduling, goal setting, and then the motivation to follow through, they're all tied in together in order for you to do it effectively. So let's talk about good goal setting. We hear about SMART goals all the time, right? Goals should be specific, the outcome that we're desiring. So let me just briefly go over those. So when we're talking about SMART goals, specific, what does specific mean? Specific about the task at hand. Be clear. So for example, if you are a student that needs to study, let's say I'm a trader, so I need to go and practice my strategy. I need to be specific on that. What does that mean? If I'm going to go back test, I need to give myself back test 10, 15 trades. Back test, 2 pairs. Back test certain days of the month. Be very specific so you know what that outcome is. If it's related to learning about building my business, what am I going to read? So when we talk about reading, what chapters are you going to read? What is the end goal? What are the questions? So I'm going to read chapters and then I'm going to have the questions that I have. So we want to talk about very specific goals. Then we talk about measurable. There should be tangible evidence of success. So we talked about, again, I'm a trader. So if I'm going to back test, what's tangible? The results of my testing. What have I documented? What did I accomplish, right? Measurable. So achievable. This means be realistic about the task to be completed in a time frame that you have set. Now, when you're being realistic about this, it needs to be based on the knowledge, the strengths and weaknesses that you have, and the information that you're going to use to maximize and be successful at completing this task. So you need to make sure that it is achievable, right? It is not, if I've never worked out before, it's not, I'm not going to say it's not achievable, but if I've never worked out before and I am not a runner, is it really achievable for me to say I'm going to leave out of here and I'm going to run 10 miles? It may sound good, but I need to do something. My body has to be conditioned. What am I going to be able to achieve today? Maybe it's a quarter of a mile, and that's fine. It was specific, it was measurable, and now I have the confidence to achieve it. So that's achievable. Let's talk about, again, realistic. It kind of tied back to my example. So when we're talking about realistic, we're talking about setting goals for every minute of the day, that's not realistic, right? Different people have different needs with their plan. So we have varying levels of details or degrees of details that we'll need when we're being realistic. You may need to plan for an hour. Someone else may need to plan for the first part of their day and the last part of their day. You may have to say, you know what, let me look at the bigger picture and break it down. But you need to make realistic time boxes, right? You don't have to account for every minute of the day. Make a plan that's going to be successful for you. And then the time frame. Specify when you plan to work. How long do you anticipate it will take you to achieve each goal? Try to stick to your plans for time. But please recognize that sometimes things may take longer than you initially planned for. That makes sense? So let me read this to you. While these strategies for goals are related directly to time management efforts, the basic truths hold true for any goal setting effort that you may have. To be truly effective, you must be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and have a time frame in which you plan to complete it. So those are SMART goals, right? Then let's talk about time scheduling. Consider a time to find out how you spend your time. Write down every task, including eating, sleeping, leisure time. We need to figure out how are we budgeting our time anyway, so that you can analyze how you're spending that time and where you could have made better usage of your time. So first, before we know where we need to go, let's kind of evaluate what we've been doing so that we can make some improvements. Make a list of everything you have to do in a week and the amount of time that you need to accomplish this. Include everything: sleeping, studying, working, relaxing, working out, movies, whatever you want to do for fun time with friends, traveling. Then you're going to total that amount of time. Remember, a week has 168 hours in it. So 7 days times 24 hours. Most individuals do not realize that they've committed to more hours in a week to what they can accomplish. So this is going to require you now to do that assessment and then prioritize the things in your life. Then you want to make a to-do list for every day. You make it a goal to accomplish everything on your list. Now, what's important? This is not everything that you got to get, everything that you want to do or you think about doing. These are the actual things that will move you closer to your goals and the things that you actually must get done. You want to be very specific on your list. You don't want to do things that are not productive, right? If you finish what you need to do and maybe you need to add that to your list, then that's fine. But we want to focus on what is it that I absolutely have to accomplish today. Make sure you use a planner to track what you're doing, and also use a calendar, record dates, important dates, also plan ahead. So that's time scheduling. What about motivation? We talked about the goal setting. We talked about time scheduling. Motivation. I can do all this planning, but what do I get? What's in it for me is the question. So you want to make sure that you are managing your time, because guess what? Managing your time allows you for free time. So now you've looked at how you want to spend your time. What's important for you to do when you have free time? What is going to motivate you to manage your time correctly so that you can enjoy that free time? Find something that will motivate you. So very, very important. Reward yourself for accomplishing your goals. Think about this. If you're constantly working, and you never reward yourself, if your job never rewarded you with a merit raise, an increase, or some type of acknowledgement, would you continue to be motivated? So you have to find things to encourage yourself to keep you going. So make sure you have those positive motivators that's going to keep you wanting to accomplish your goals. So some general principles for time management. Make sure you take 5 to 10 minute breaks. Make sure you take breaks in between your goals. Plan that in. Before you go to bed, make sure you take 10 to 15 minutes to review your goals for the next day. And in the morning, 10 to 15 minutes to make sure you have your goals aligned for that day. So you know you are starting your day off right. If something is new, you want to make sure that you allow a larger time block to conquer those concepts. So we're going to use trading back as an example. For my new traders, You may need to take 2 hours a day because this is a skill that is going to pay you for the rest of your life, right? So 1 hour may be the baseline, but maybe some days you need to take 2 hours because this is a newer concept. So make sure that you, for the task that you were doing, you plan it appropriately. And then concentrate on learning material the first time around and then reviewing and refreshing the material. This will allow you to determine what you need to study more. So as you are going through new items or as you are reading a book, go through, understand, then go back and make sure you focus on the areas that you need to learn more. This is going to maximize your time. Divide and conquer. Divide your large projects or any large tasks into sections so that they are manageable. You got to set yourself up for success. Then we do all of this work. How do we evaluate it? You have to know how to evaluate your tasks so that you know that you did them in the order of importance and that they were completed. Also, recognize where your time bandits are going to be. Is it watching TV? Is it talking on the phone with friends? Avoid doing these things during your planned time to accomplish your goals. Now, we talked about your free time, right? So identify, when do you have the free time? Is it important for you to talk to those friends? Schedule that free time in, right? Is it important for you to watch TV? Does that clear your brain? Schedule that in. But don't do that when you have put your goals into action of what you need to accomplish. So you want to be very mindful of those time bandits. Also, very important, you got to learn to say no. Like, no is a good word. You got to protect your planned time, people. Protect your time. This is a time to be selfish, right? How will you ever achieve your goals and get your work accomplished if you don't learn to be selfish? And over time, people will learn to respect your no. Because guess what? On your free time, then you can follow up. All right? This is how you're going to learn how to manage your time. Then we have procrastination. So let's have some tips for procrastination when we're talking about time management. If it's 3 to 5 minutes, do it right away. Just get in your mind. If it's something that can be done in 3 to 5 minutes, do it right now. Don't procrastinate. Just go and do it. Make a routine. If there's something that you consistently do, make it a routine so that you are spending the same amount of time all the time doing it, right? This works best if you're planning to study, if you're planning to exercise, if you are learning something new. Make a routine of it. Even when we talk about positive affirmations and getting yourself going for the day, put that into your time management. Make that a part of your routine. What are you saying to get yourself going in the morning? What are you saying to get yourself in the evening to go to bed and be relaxed? Make a routine of what's successful for you. Then make sure you vary your tasks so that you don't have redundancy. And also figure out the tasks that you really don't like doing. Let's go ahead and knock those out earlier so you can enjoy the tasks that you do more, right? When you have more energy during the day, knock those out so that the rest of your day is more enjoyable. Time management will help you be a better version of yourself. It helps reduce stress. It helps you feel like you are more accomplished. It gives you the feeling of growth and being positive. It helps eliminate procrastination, and it helps you deal with the unexpected better. So you have to be flexible, but by having a plan, you better know how to deal with the unexpected and what the impact of that unexpected works. None of this will work if you don't practice it. All right? So I hope you enjoyed this. I will have a part 2 on the principles, some additional principles of time management. I hope you have a good day. Your time is the most valuable commodity you have. Let's use it wisely. Thanks, everybody. CC Speaks.